Welcome back to the Backyard Professor Chess videos. I've been having an argument with myself lately and I'm trying to figure it out, and I think I've about got it. But first we've got to have this argument. It's important. It's really important. And yes, it's concerning chess. Dude, I'm telling you, you've got to quit acting so goofy. These people want serious chess analysis. I know that. You think I'm stupid or something? I mean, yeah, you think I'm stupid, but I give them chess analysis all the time. No, but man, that last video, you overdid it with the humor. I mean, didn't you read the comments? There were some comments that said they didn't want your stories anymore. Yeah, what, 1 out of 250? So what? I mean, they've got to understand that I use humor with my analysis anyway. You learn better when you laugh a little bit and have some fun. Yeah, but don't you think you overdid it? I mean, Lancelot gallivanting around on his silly steed. The story had a moral to it, man. It really had a good moral to it. Everybody already knows the moral of the story, of course. The good guy gets the lady in the end and they all lived happily ever after. Look, I know without a question that I can do some funny and yet serious chess analysis. So maybe we ought to ask these guys. What do you guys think? You like funny chess or do you like serious chess with good analysis? Or do you like both? Oh, come on, I know you guys can't possibly stand this silly humor. You've got to have serious chess. You're not here just for laughing purposes. You want to learn something about chess, right? So that's the argument that I've been having with myself. Welcome to the Backyard Professor Chess videos, where I interject a little bit of silly humor every now and then, and I also try to give you some really good, honest-to-goodness chess ideas, because I'm getting them from the international masters and the grandmasters, right? Take this position, for instance. Let's look at this. This looks like a difficult position. Or is it an easy position? I mean, if the idiot in the video would move his fat head, we could look at it and find out. What we notice with this particular position that's interesting is that they're both pretty well developed. No kidding, cowboy. Of course they're well developed, for Pete's sake. Tell them something they don't know. For instance, every piece is into this. This guy has this side mostly pieced up, but this isn't so well developed. So from this point of view, it appears that white should have the better game of it. You mean that's it? That's it? That's what you're gonna talk about? White's better developed? That's all there is to this? So if you will ignore the idiot on that side of the chessboard, I can give you a really decent chess lesson. For instance, consider again the center. 3 pawns interlocked with 3 pawns. In this instance, there's not a lot of attacking that can go on right now that I can see. Well, it's a good thing you're wearing your glasses then, because we can all already see that. If it was black's move, what could he do? I mean, truly. How about move a piece? Hello, McFly. What if he was to push his bishop to h6? Now this is perfectly logical because he would be trading off his bad bishop. He's got bad pawns here. It's going to be limited in scope for the majority of this game, right? If he traded off his bad bishop for white's good bishop, that's one possible move, right? But you're saying if he did that, wouldn't he be neglecting his development of his full potential team out there on the field like I've talked about before? Careful, people. Genius at work over here. Real genius. Just stellar, right? Chess analysis. It's so boring. Black can't develop his knight to this really fabulous outpost here, but he could, in a couple of moves, get up to this outpost and begin doing operations on the queen side. However, before you push your knight like this, wouldn't it be better to bump some pawns? To get some pawns going, to open up some open files? Because observe, honestly, the two rooks are well centrally placed, but there's virtually nothing for them to do. So what this is telling us, in essence, there's a couple of things that we learn from reading the chessboard. I hate to read. I really hate to read. I want to play a game of chess instead of read a book. And here you are talking about reading the chessboard. Because as we look and read the chessboard, the center is truly closed. So what this is going to tell us is the bishops, as well as the rooks, the bishop diagonals, the only bishop diagonal here is this one on the white. This bishop is virtually useless. And the only bishop diagonal for white is his good bishop, but his bad bishop is going to get nowhere fast. And literally, now black hasn't castled yet or pushed this side of the development much, but even if he did, there's literally nothing there for the rooks to do. White certainly has a vaster development with really powerful centralized rooks, but they're not doing anything. I have never seen such incredible, stellar, intellectual prowess in my life. Duh. So what's one of the lessons that this board shows us? One thing it can show us without question is when the center is closed, development isn't as critical speedy-wise. Yes, black is somewhat undeveloped, but is that going to get his king attacked any faster? No, it's really not. What a stupid game then. If the king isn't going to be attacked, what's the whole point of this idiotic chess game, right? You always attack the king, you dork. So that's an interesting lesson. Now let's take a look at a different position, shall we? Now, here's a very fascinating position. We see some interesting development going on with the white as opposed to the black. And all I have done is taken out those 6 central pawns. The pieces are exactly as they were in the last position. But you want to see the difference between those two positions and why knowing how to read the chessboard is so critically important. This is utterly fascinating to me. White now can go instantly b5 check. And so the black king moves out of check. Let's say that was his move. Then he also has access to bishop c5, pinning the queen to the king. Very interesting move, isn't it? But now black can also respond because no pawns restrict the queen, and so the queen can take the bishop. But now, because the field is open and we now actually see a good concrete physical example of the power of bishops in open fields. Ha! Not to mention the queen, because the pawns aren't blocking either the offense or the defense. We can now see attack and defense occur, right? Without those central pawns. But now the problem with this position is, look at the power of the rooks. Yeah? Open files really make a difference when the center is not clogged with pawns. Check. The move that can stop the check is the knight. But now, because the center was open, and because not only did the bishops have access to the diagonals, but the rooks have access to the files, now white can simply go checkmate. By recognizing the significance of the board's position, by seeing the limitations and the entire different philosophical, not to mention logical, not to mention chess strategical ideas, we didn't have to bother about worrying about trading off bad bishops over here or putting a knight on an outpost over here while there was congested centers. In an open field, it is a complete blitzkrieg as opposed to a slow buildup. So that is, in my opinion, something worth knowing. It's why, again, I really like Jeremy Silman, the international master. Unfortunately, he's now retired. Thank goodness he wrote so many good books. I really like his philosophy of you have to learn how to read the chessboard. And we are going to practice this a lot. I got this out of his workbook, the Reassess Your Chess workbook, by the way. This wasn't my idea. I gladly give Jeremy Silman the credit for this. It was on page 35, these two diagrams and the ideas behind them. So there's a really wonderful little quick chess lesson for you, and I hope you got something out of it. When I saw this the other day, I thought, wow, that is worth making a video for. So there's your Backyard Professor Chess video. Remember, pay it forward. It's the Christmas season. Pay it forward. Have fun. Do something nice for someone that they can't pay you back. Better yet, don't even let them know who it was. That's the funnest kind. And have a merry holiday Christmas season. And I'll see you in the next chess video.